Video sponsored by Surfshark VPN.
And niggas, Sister Dee. Oh boy, wonder what they're gonna get into today. Uh-oh, back to the lab again.
Dexter's Lab was a great show, and it had a bunch of video games. Were they any good? What do you think? Not including Flash games, we got 7 of them. Get ready to suffer. It's Juice and Jam time.
Uh-oh.
Hey kids, you ever play elevator action? Yes, elevator action. How can you make something in the 80s yet have a title that crappy? Look at that logo. Friggin' ass Woody from Toy Story Freak. Hang on, I can improve this title screen. That's better. This was an arcade game where you scaled down a building, massacring everyone in your way. Supposedly you were a spy stealing confidential info, but all I see is Fry from Futurama. This franchise had many installments like Elevator Action EX on Game Boy Color. It was released in Europe and Japan, but in America it was reskinned to be Dexter's Laboratory, Robot Rampage. Which, it's so odd to see Dexter using guns to shoot up a place and, oh snap, grenade! I just love these robot enemies. They don't shoot lasers from their eyes or use a blaster. Straight up, they pull out a Glock. Well, they had to telegraph their attack somehow, and giving all the robots guns was the best option, apparently. There's no sugarcoating it. They are trying to put a bullet through Dexter's head. Look, those are not phaser beams. These are bullets. But you can dodge that stuff easily, like the friggin' Matrix. Dang, Neo ain't the only red-pilled computer nerd with a concerning selection of guns.
What are you so happy about? Is it 'cause you're in love? No, you silly girl. I'm happy because I finally found my laser gun.
I remind you, that was from an episode where he just wanted to get rid of a smaller child who kept stalking him, so he thought gunning her down would be the best option. Anyway, you could shoot the bots, or you can use the elevators to crush those bastards. Yeah, look at them beg for mercy. Welcome to the second renaissance.
No, please, I'm real.
What is even the context? Well, your boy genius rival, Mandark, took control of your lab and all its bots, so you gotta find the codes to reprogram them. He gloats by stating, haha, find the secret codes to disable the robots before they disable you. Disable? Is he threatening to cripple Dexter's legs? You can't let that happen, so at the start you can choose a costume inspired by outfits that were in the show for a few seconds, each with a different jumping and speed stat. Also, don't worry about all the violence. When Dexter runs out of health, he just loses clothes. Fun fact, each costume has a different variant of his defeat animation, so don't worry, the robots with guns don't want to kill Dexter, they just want to get this child naked. Okay, sure. Now, normally in other 2D games, you stand in front of the door and press the up button to enter a door. But here, you have to stand to the left of the door to open it. It's very imprecise. But that's just how the original elevator action was. As a kid, I recall thinking the game was fine, I played it every so often, but I expected the final level to be a mech fight. The box has Dexter in that robot suit inspired by the movie Aliens. The mechs were the coolest part of the show. It was the only reason I bought this back then, but I never beat it. I think I always ran out of lives or just lost interest. Strange because it takes like 40 minutes to finish the game, and no, there is no mech fight, just a boss. The only boss in the game, the super robot. Yeah, he's OP as heck, but once you beat him, Mandark gives up. As per his dying words, Mandark tells you a cheat code to play as the super robot, and then randomly out of nowhere starts gushing about how he wants to pork Dexter's sister Dee Dee. Dang. Sure, I don't know where that came from, but yeah. That's it. Dexter rides up an elevator one last time and enters this unfinished room? The end. Okay, well, next game, I guess.
Hello, Moto.
And here comes a mobile game, as in the flip phone type of mobile. Dexter's Lab Security Alert released in 2007, long after the series ended. There was a whole bunch of these made by Cartoon Network's mobile division, but that's just a front for Macrospace, who developed and published these ROMs that I currently can't even run. The only footage there is of this game online is from this guy instructing you how to emulate this particular game on a damn PSP in 2020. Who, besides me, is looking up tutorials on how to emulate this specific game? If this were a cartoon, I'd assume this video was a trap set up to capture me in particular, so I'm not gonna listen to these instructions. From the footage alone, it's a Bomberman clone. Okay, first guns, now bombs. Dexter, we seriously need to talk. I may not be able to run the game, but I at least have the files and sprites. Now we can witness Mandark painfully being vaporized into nothingness. Alright, looks like this PlayStation 1 game features the show's intro. I can't wait to play. Mandark's Lab? I thought I was playing Dexter's Lab, but now it's Mandark's Lab? What the heck? I didn't pay for this. Like, really, I did not pay at all. I downloaded this off an emulator site. But regardless, this 2002 game is called Dexter's Laboratory, Mandark's Lab. Well, which is it? Whatever you call it, this is a minigame collection based on specific episodes while you explore the house, kind of like the PS1 Rugrats game. In between the action are animated cutscenes. Don't get too excited, they took old footage from the show and cut it up with a new story and dialogue. Plus some digitized assets like a damn C-Lab 2021 episode. The footage is taken from the first 2 seasons, but the game came out after Dexter's original voice actress left, so you got the season 3 post-redesign voice.
Door open.
Voice not recognized.
What do you mean, voice not recognized? My lab! What's the matter, Dexter?
I do appreciate the fan service. The environments look pretty damn authentic to the show, but there's not much to do in these hub maps. You at least got these night vision goggles. Yeah, we Splinter Cell now. I was expecting to solve puzzles with this or slash some throats, but it's really just to look around the environment horizontally. You can't even look up or down. Whatever, let's just get to the 8 mini-games. The first being a dance-off. Oh yeah, Dexter's out of the lab and in the club! Woo! Unfortunately, the real music in this stage and the game in general is nothing memorable.
Girl, I have seen better steps on a ladder.
Other games include an on-rails shooter blasting cooties. I love how their body parts just gruesomely discombobulate to pieces. Oh cool, a bonus stage, or a stage bonus. Those are 2 different things. Which is it? Here you have to refill your spray bottle by mashing buttons. This ain't a bonus stage, it's a necessity. Dare I say, a human right, like healthcare. Motherfucker! Next game has you killing these hellish sleep paralysis demons in a microscopic world. Good God, the motion sickness I want off the ride. It's very slippery, but the visuals in this micro world are trippy. It's like the Ant-Man movies because I have zero interest in experiencing this again. Speaking of repulsive creatures, have you seen this game's developer logo? Every time I look at that mascot when I boot up this game, he fills me with unbridled sexual rage. I want him gone. This ain't no master race, it's the cyber chase where you gotta hunt down this computer virus and swat it. You're on foot except you accelerate by holding down X like a racing game. Did they have no time to model a vehicle? This one's alright.
Oh, this is too easy.
Oh, it looks like they did have a car model after all for this Kart Racers segment inspired by that Speed Racer parody episode. Imagine Mario Kart, but there's only one opponent and you can keep spamming your boost. It's like Mario Kart DS's online multiplayer. Next is another on-rail shooter based on the Dodgeball episode. I just keep hearing Phil and Lil screaming in pain.
You are a loser. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Following up is another rhythm game, except you're not dancing but mixing chemicals. Okay, why are Mandark's eyes constantly dilating like a bird? What exactly are these chemicals? Did Dexter finally break bad?
Match that, if you can. Come on, Dexter!
Hey, they are snorting whatever mixture this is. I recall in chemistry class, you're supposed to waft the scent towards you gently. You're not supposed to just snort that stuff. Like, Dexter, you should know this, so something is up.
I am a genius.
Oh, wow. In just under an hour, I'm already at the final mini-game. It's here where Mandark threatens to blow up the lab. Well, actually, he's gonna friggin' nuke this fish tank so that the water gets everywhere.
What is going on? Ah! I commend you once again on making it so far. But in a short while, your precious lab will be submerged in a sea of salty brine, putting an end to your little experiments once and for all. Only I know the code that will stop the bomb from exploding.
Okay, so explosives are bad enough, but giving someone's house water damage, that's messed up. I got some black mold in the bathroom after Hurricane Hannah. That stuff's pretty awful. I'm calling the contractor to fix it. Not cool, man. As you explore the lab near the end, this guy just keeps moaning for Dexter's sister.
Oh, Dee.
Like he does that every 30 seconds.
Oh, Dee.
Jesus Christ, is that sea Jack and Moth in there? I want out, so let's get to the final minigame, and it's literally Rocket League. Yeah, this is the only good minigame here. Please, put the RebelTaxi in Rocket League. I want it.
Super loser.
So, Mandark promises to disable the bomb once you beat him, which I did, and you get this final cutscene. Here, Mandark betrays you and doesn't disable the bomb. Oh, no!
Huh?
What? Ooh. Mandark, you imbecile. You can't even program a simple countdown.
Oh, don't worry, his evil plan wouldn't have worked regardless if you won or not. So enjoy this brief musical segment. The end! Well, that sucked, but at least you unlocked some concept art for the TV show itself, and I don't think I've ever seen this art available anywhere else. These are probably some rare model sheets that have never been publicly released beyond this game. That's crazy, and look at that, there's some drawings based on the creator Genndy Tartakovsky. My favorite is this one where he's taking a fat shit! Well, now that the game's over, I can still explore the lab as Old Man Dexter. We'll be back with more Dexter games after these messages.
What? Another commercial? I shall invent an alternative to our shovel capitalist society. But what's in it for me?
Surfshark VPN, yes sir, the sponsor of tonight's video. What's a VPN? It's great, it changes your internet region and protects your privacy. You got Netflix, just switch regions and bam, you can see what other countries have on their Netflix. It's that easy. How about something to keep you safe, especially on public Wi-Fi? Nothing can stop you. Use the code RebelTaxi to get 85% off plus 3 extra months. This deal won't be around much longer, so get in on that. Don't like that? You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Oh, what, you got an incognito window on your browser? Wow, that's completely useless. Surfshark VPN. It's got clean web. This thing will block malicious ads and will notify you if your passwords are at risk. Don't trust an internet provider, trust Surfshark VPN. Again, use the code RebelTaxi to get 85% off plus 3 extra months while you still can. You got a 30-day money-back guarantee. VPN. Surfshark.
My robot.
My robot.
Mine.
Mine.
Dexter.
Props to this for being the only game to feature Agent Honeydew. Dexter's Laboratory Chess Challenge on Game Boy Advance from 2002. Personally, I would have titled this game Dexter's Laboratory. I want Agent Honeydew to take a bishop on my chess. What can you say? It's frickin' chess. It's fine, and this game was the reason me as a kid knew how to play. I guess the lesson here is the best Dexter games are just reskins of other games. Oh look, YouTuber King Crane is showing off a Grand Theft Auto mod with Dexter in it. Oh, I guess it's a Dexter game now. Dexter, it can be in any game. It's just Dexter. It's all so great. Well, it's not that great. The interface is pretty cluttered and difficult to see. But you can instantly switch perspectives or go to this more conventional layout. Now, let's play the easy mode. It's a kid's game, it can't be that hard.
Dexter. Boy genius.
Versus
Queen Edie.
I don't know how to play chess. Are you winning?
No. Here's some BS. If you cannot kill off the king after a certain amount of checks, the game calls for a stalemate. What the heck? I should frickin' win! I had him on check for several moves straight! Isn't that how chess works? It's been a while. Maybe it's not the best version of a virtual chess set. Like, honestly, can it really compete with the classics? I would just like to say that stupid ginger kid in the first Harry Potter could have just jumped off the chess piece before getting frickin' owned. Stupid dumbass. The only reason to play Dexter's Chess Challenge are the animations. Despite the crummy sprite art where everybody's out of scale, they're pretty amusing. But there is a puzzle mode offering challenges such as get a checkmate in one move. Like here's the first level on the easy mode. Okay, I'm the white piece, so if I move this king over here, they'll be forced to move in one of these spots, thus I'd win and checkmate. Oh, well, that's not right. What if I move the rook here? Maybe if I try... How about I just... Is this gonna... Damn it! No! Why? Next game!
What exactly do you think that you are doing?
Yet another game I'm unable to run, so I stole footage off this YouTube channel. 2001's Dexter's Laboratory Science Ain't Fair for PC. It's one of those activity center / minigame collections that were all the rage in the 90s. Minigames just swatting the bugs in the computers.
That was too close!
An unapologetic Tron ripoff, kinda like the Tron episode, Game Over. Look, even Dexter's outfit has the Tron logo on him. Bonus points to that episode also featuring a reference to the stop-motion fighting game Primal Rage. Then there's this game where Dexter's pet monkey tries to steal his batteries and you gotta vaporize him and his clones from existence. Also, a photography game. Capture the JPEGs that have 0 walk cycles, and I guess the game gives you the option to print out these horrid JPEGs. You know how much ink printing a full-colored page of this is gonna cost? Oh, what's that? A modern game lets you post in-game photos on Twitter? Well, back then, every PC and Game Boy Color game had a printout function. We wasted 3 ink cartridges per page for this. Wasn't life grand? And the final section is an activity center for dumbass babies who can't use Photoshop. Stupid dumbass babies. Again, I took this footage off YouTube, so I'm watching them use the comic maker. What sort of comic will this future creator of a high-grossing superhero movie based on an underpaid artist's vision did they illustrate? Dexter Mac E-Potion. Dexter then spills that crap all over the floor. I did it. Then he runs off. The end. This is one of those games I spent a lot of time on as a kid, but looking back, boy, I should have played something else. 2001's Dexter's Laboratory Deesaster Strikes on GBA. Dee Dee has made a bunch of mini clones of herself, and you gotta capture them all. It's sort of like Sonic 3D Blast, where you gotta explore an isometric stage and retrieve some random objects, like birds or whatever. Which, it's one thing to rip off Sonic, but to rip off Sonic 3D Blast? Nice. Everything in this perspective is diagonal, but when you press up, you go diagonally up to the right. Sounds annoying, but you get used to it. Though the collision detection is atrocious. Like, you really need to find a sweet spot to pick up objects. Such as these bullets. Yeah, look at that, bullets again. Dexter, there are more than 2 amendments to obsess over. Oh, look, a vat of toxic chemicals. Here, Dexter, since you enjoyed the Joker movie a little too much. Unless the enemy requires being shot at, you're better off just jumping on them. And look at me trying to shoot at these turrets. You can't. You jump, but the shot is still at ground level. I've never seen a game do that. And the platforming at this angle is just not good. Hey, you know how in 3D platformers you always have a shadow directly underneath your character to gauge where you're jumping to? Well, this game does have that, except when you're jumping on these specific platforms, you know, the ones that you could easily fall off of, they don't show up on there. Why? Oh, and if you lose all your lives, you start over from your last save. So if you're low on health, that's all you get. There are so few health pickups that you're on the verge of dying for the most part. This game desperately needs what the kids call quality of life improvements. When you get a key item like a card to activate a computer, you can't just push a button to use it instantly. You gotta switch through your inventory for practically everything. There he goes!
Monkeys in outer space, protecting the freedom of the human race.
Even if all those issues were fixed, this game is a real chore. Grab a Dee Dee and take her to the goal, which is often a long walk. Just looking at the maps to some of these levels fills me with a sense of dread. Oh, I gotta walk all that? What is this, Jedi Fallen Order? Honestly, Deesaster Strikes is the worst of the Dexter games that I really don't want to play much further. So let's just look up some YouTube videos for more footage. Yeah, I remember that stage. Good old Fanta Lime Green. So on the final level, taking place in Dexter's house, you have to repair a sink with a wrench. Upon doing so, that wrench you need to progress disappears thanks to a glitch. Yes, you are soft-locked and unable to beat the game. That is a key item gone. This was such a rampant problem that some players have emailed the game company BAM Entertainment for help. In response, BAM replied,
Dear BAM customer, the issue you are describing is a known bug in the game. We will be happy to replace your game, however there is a small chance that you will get a game with the same bug in it. To receive a replacement, please send us your game, the box it came in, a copy of your receipt, and a written description of the problem to the address listed below.
Okay, first off, you expect anyone to both keep the receipt and the box this came in? This was a pretty long game, at least it felt like that as a kid, so by the time you made it here to the final stage, you likely threw that stuff away. Second, they straight up told the customer, yeah, hey, we'll send you a new copy. We printed a newer batch of cards with the glitch fixed, but we don't know which copy is from what batch, so sorry if you get another bug game. Truly, a terrible time before online patches. Speaking of, I remember the N64 game Turok Rage Wars had a soft locking bug. Some people have mailed the game in back to the developer for a fix and got a new copy. The game was originally sold in a black cartridge, but those who turned the game in received a gray cart with the bug fix. Those fetch a high price on eBay, so I wonder if any of these Deesaster Strike carts will get a similar treatment. Maybe there's some way to tell the difference between the variants on the label or something, but I doubt it because this game is just crap. And our final game is Dexter's Laboratory Robot Rumble, intended for PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. It was gonna be a 3D mech fighter, you know, based on the best parts of the series, something I always wanted as a kid, but it was never finished. Looking at these screenshots, it could have been the original Anarchy Reigns. I ain't expecting Game of the Year, but a decent little brawler would have been fun to have. Too bad BAM Entertainment, who published many of the Dexter and Cartoon Network games, went bankrupt during development. A shame. Like, if you want to cash in on nostalgia, creator Genndy Tartakovsky has admitted he's done with Dexter and really does not want more episodes. But maybe finishing this game's concept would be a better option? And why stop at Dexter? Add the mechs from the Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, Megas XLR, the Ducks from Regular Show, the Steven Universe gems. A Cartoon Network themed mech game would be so great. But I'd just be happy if this was just a solo Dexter license. I'd rather have that than another cartoon reboot.
Nice. Next Friday on CCN. We got all
whole night of Dexter, Dee Dee, and Mandark.
Right on, brother.
That's right, CCF fans. We're counting down the top 10 episodes of Dexter's Laboratory. It didn't take a rocket scientist to come up with this list. Wait a minute. Yes, it did.
Well, can I get the hand?
So join us next Friday at 8 on Cartoon Fridays, only on Cartoon Network.
Eggo chocolate chip waffles.